Hi everyone, and welcome back to the road to 100 million here on Farming Simulator 25. We're on Kylora Farm, and we're going to start off by destroying some poor farmer's field on this beautiful foggy May morning, because we're going to be heading over and selling some produce. So we've got goat milk, lettuce, tomatoes, strawberries, and 1,000 litres, because that's how it's measured, of wooden beams. So just checking the weather, we've got a bit of a storm at 10 o'clock and then sunshine all through the day until later on at night. So the sky looks pretty clear for now, but that doesn't mean the weather won't change quickly. Now I just have to be careful here because the tractor doesn't like this little ledge. I know I should probably stick to the roads and all that. Oops. I should probably stick to the real roads and all that and just make easier navigation for myself, but I just take shortcuts sometimes. I can't help it, especially when it's 8 in the morning, 8:15 in the morning, there's no cars around, and we just go for it. So it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to head in and we're going to make some cash because it has come to my attention that unfortunately there's just no point in buying field number 77 and 78. Now that was the original plan. One of them has potatoes on and one of them has spinach, and I just can't afford to purchase them because it would just go to waste. So I may as well hold out hope for something later on in the year. Maybe I'll be able to afford the potato planter, for example, later on in the year. So it makes sense to just leave it for now and find some other fields. So I've been exploring. Now some of these are available, field 83, 84, 85 and 86, and I'll take you through them in just a moment here after we sell all the produce. But it's going to be hopefully plenty. Actually, why don't we go to the farmer's market first? This probably isn't the most ideal way as I trample another poor farmer's field, but the farmer's market's kind of on the way to the dairy. I'll go sell the milk there, and then we'll go to the dairy and go home. Can I sell goat milk at the farmer's market? I can't. It has to be at the dairy. But that's okay. Let's not make the mistake I always do where I tip my tractor and all the contents as I go around this corner, although it's not as heavy as it usually is. So let's sell our produce and our wooden beams. That's $17,500. Beautiful. And we're going to head over. Let me put the straps back on. That's how efficient I am. I can do it from inside the tractor. Crazy. We'll go over and sell our milk at the dairy and then get on with it. Now, this is only the raw sort of goat milk. I'm not going to sell the bottled one because the best time for that is September. But it makes sense to sell this. And it was also starting to clog up the area at the goats over there. So just in the interest of getting it all moved on, it's better to sell it now. Even if it is at a slightly lower price, it's towards the end. I was trying to sell it by the end of April, but I just couldn't do it quickly enough. So that's why it was a bit slow. But still, we managed to get $14,000 for it, which is awesome. So that's 30k, just over 30k sold there of produce and products that we had lying around waiting to be sold. So we're up to $146,000, which is amazing. A couple more contracts this month, and we should be able to repay the loan. The loan being the loan of $155,000 that we took out last time. I'll just bring up the finances screen in just a moment here as I try and navigate the shortcut that we take. So $155,000 in loan you guys saw there. So we're pretty close to being able to repay that. Also not sure if we should repay it because we can probably reinvest our money into something else. Now the plan for this episode, we're going to go through May, June and July. So let me just park this tractor here. We're going to have to do the eggs pretty soon. But let's go to the crop calendar and see what we're going to do. So May, June and July. Now we can't harvest anything, but we are going to be harvesting the canola later on. I meant right now. We are going to be harvesting the canola later on. And probably the wheat as well, because they'll both be ready in July, so no point waiting around until then. And then we're going to hopefully be using a combine harvester and doing a bunch of contracts between now and then. One thing I do want to do, and this has been coming for a long time, we want to plant our soybeans today. So I'm going to own the field, hopefully, and this is where we can go and do some exploration together. So this field, 83, has got soybeans on it, which is quite tasty, so we could buy it. And just own the soybeans, but at the minute we want to be planting them. We can always buy this field later on at $90,000. We can buy this field later on as it gets closer to harvest time. They're well looked after as well. Sugar beet on 84. We don't have anything to be able to harvest the sugar beet. It is quite expensive, I think. It's called beet harvesters, isn't it? Green bean harvester, sugarcane. Wasn't there its own vegetable harvester? Is that it? See, that's normal beet, but not sugar beet. Spinach, sugarcane, cotton. I don't actually know where the other harvester is. Beet harvester. Here we go. Beet harvester, there you go. That's not too bad. Before sugar beets can be harvested, the foliage needs to be cut. So we would need to spend nearly $100,000 on that, and then some more hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. It's just not worth it. We don't have the money to be able to do that. Eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to own the tiger, Haropa tiger. But we're not able to do that now. So this field is out of the question. This field's empty. It needs a bit of work, some lime and some ploughing, but it could be a good candidate to combine up with field number 86, which has spinach growing in it. Now, can we harvest spinach? No. So basically, the only option that we have is field number 85, sorry, and we'd have to do some work for it. And that's not really that big. It's only 1 hectare, and I don't know how much bigger we can make it. Or we could purchase field number 98, this farmland here. Now, the good thing about this is it's all open. So if I just go to the boundary over here, I don't actually know. It'll stop me, won't it? Yeah, this is the boundary. So if we walk along here, back to field 100, you can see from here to the road is quite a distance. That's 3 or 4 rows, and some decent areas to work with there. And it does extend all the way to the back over here. So we will be able to possibly cut down some of these trees. I'm not too sure. Definitely these ones to the right. So we'll get a little bit of wood here, and that should be enough to actually refill the sawmill as well the next time it goes dead. So the plan would be to probably cut down all of these trees and then leave, that's the cows making that noise, and then leave a little area over here for production. Now we said previously that we might be looking to get a bigger oil mill, especially now that we've got sunflowers and the corn. So this area here seems like a nice little spot for the oil mill. It does, and obviously now it looks shit, but once we sort it all out, once we do some terraforming, once we get rid of the trees, make it look pretty, this could be a very nice spot for the oil mill. I wish I could see what the front of this building is. I'm assuming it's here, but then the side, this is where the stuff will spawn. So this is the front. So it needs access along the ground here. So it seems like this sort of spot would be good for it. And we could go and dump all the stuff at the back, and it wouldn't interfere with the grass field at all. So that is something to consider. It also could fit quite a large area here. Like if we wanted to get a bigger sawmill, we could get a bigger sawmill, which is pretty good. A spinnery, a sugar mill, or we could just diversify and get something different. For example, where is the... Oh, we could get a bakery. But no, before that we need the grain, or the potato processing plant as well. And once we start getting potatoes. Preserved food factory. There's lots of stuff to consider here. Soup factory. Spinnery, bakery. What am I looking for? It's the grain one. What's the grain one? Grain mill. We could get a grain mill. But an expensive grain mill. Up here somewhere. Oil mill, grain mill. There you go. We could get this, and then that would mean all of the cereal crops that we already have the ability to produce, we could start putting in here and chugging along. So that seems nice. Why would we not want to do that? Unless there's already a grain mill on the map. Let me just do a quick autosave and find out. We want available. Nah, there's no grain mill. There is a sawmill, there's a soup factory and a spinnery already. And all of those things are already there to be able to be used. But, well, carpentry. Oh, of course. We could buy that. Oh, it's the one at the corner there. It's the really annoying one. No. What's the other... What's the one in the middle of the map? What's the one down here? Here, what's this one? Biomass heating plant. Right, what does that produce? Biomass plant. Manure, silage, slurry, and sugar beet cup. Okay, so we're a while away from owning that. Sorry, I got distracted, like I always do, but field number 98 looks like the project for us. It means we would own this entire bottom side of the map, and then naturally we would start buying up the fields over here in the future with a good candidate already. Field number 83. We could buy that later on because it's got soybeans growing, and we could buy them and then harvest the soybeans with the harvester that we already have, which would be perfect. So I think that's the plan. Now, having said earlier in the episode that I wanted to pay back the loan, doesn't really seem worth it if I can just not do that. So I may as well just keep the money that we've got. Great demand at the animal dealer. And there is one other thing that I wanted to touch base on. Now, I don't know if this is the new update or not, but 3 new goats have been born this month. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. I purchased 43 goats myself, and suddenly the capacity for the sheep pasture has gone up. Now, I don't know if that's like overcrowded or what, because if I go over here, it's 46 out of 46. But there's randomly 3 more goats. Now, obviously, these goats have been born. They're young, they're healthy, but yeah, I don't really understand that. Is that just a thing that happened? I mean, did they need to take 24 months to do? This is obviously their 25th month. But it says animals that are healthy and older than 8 months can reproduce. So I don't really understand that. Same for the chickens. We've randomly got 192 more chickens. They were born last month and I didn't notice, which means I need to fill that up with grain very, very quickly. The cows are still fine. They're going up in value, but they're only 9 months old, so we can expect no reproduction until after 18 months. So they're halfway there. But yeah, crazy. I could sell 3 goats and get a quick $2,000, but I see no reason to. And we've still got the goat milk over here and enough resources to feed them all. So why bother? But yeah, just a bit of an interesting sort of phenomenon, I guess. I am going to send this tractor over to the shop because I need to go and buy some wheat and be able to feed the chickens. I'll probably do that a couple of times. We've got the harvester. We've got this guy I need to fill up all the water. And this guy was doing some hoeing contracts for me. But it is time. There's no contracts to be able to do. So we may as well buy this field. Now, we still have $155,000 of the loan, I know, but we'll be able to do it for now. Let's buy this land. This is officially our land, which is just amazing. So I'm going to get the Challenger tractor, and we're going to start plowing through here pretty much as close as we can to the edge. I will deal with the trees first because they're obviously going to be in the way. Or actually, they're kind of cordoned off here, aren't they? They're kind of cordoned off. If I leave a little bit more of this area, where's the edge? I could go from the road. See, this is plenty. I could go from this spot all the way to the road down here. We could plow, and I could just leave the trees for when we need to fill up the sawmill, and potentially leave room for even more productions in the end. And even if I have to get rid of a bit of the field down the line, that would be fine too. So that's the plan. Let me get this. Let me get the plow onto this tractor. We haven't used the plow in a little while, and we will move over to that area there. Just a quick update on the rest of the fields too. We'll go through them in a second. But everything's going well. They're all up to as much yield as I can generate. Now, some of them, another question that I have for you guys, what do I need to do to get to 100% yield? Because some fields have it and some fields don't, and I don't really know why. Like, I couldn't tell you the difference, because, for example, the canola field does and the other one doesn't. So let me see if I can get this guy out without causing any issues. Yep, I can. Brilliant. And let's go over here. So this field, the wheat field, 95% yield. Why? I'm not sure. I don't know. It doesn't say that it needs anything. I'm assuming maybe it needs rolling or something. But if I go to the soil composition, see, we're up here. Now, obviously, it's fertilized. It's weeded. It's plowed. It needs lime. But I'm assuming that's weather damage that needs lime. It doesn't need rolling. Doesn't need mulching. It's got a few stones, but the stones don't affect all of that. So there's nothing here to indicate what I need, which is a bit frustrating. But I mean, 95% yield is pretty good. And then our brand new crop of sunflowers, they are 97%. So the field 72 ones are 97. If I go up here, it's also 97. So that gives me the idea that it's probably 97 all around. But this will be a lovely, beautiful addition to the oil mill when we eventually get it. When are they harvested? Oh, in October and November. A long, long way away before we can do anything about them, but that's fine. So, anyway, I'll be back in a moment once I feed the chickens, and we'll get past the rain as well, just because I don't fancy the rain. So, I'll accelerate the time, and we will come back and do some ploughing. Alrighty, I've got the Challenger, and I've got the plough, and it should have enough petrol to do this. I reckon I'm going to line it up, possibly here, at a bit of a right angle to the road. Not really, but we'll see how it goes. And we want to press Y to allow create fields. Get rid of that menu because I know the rest of the controls. And drop it down. And let's try and do a straight line all the way to wherever the tractor gets bumped. I don't know why I was thinking of trumpets. Okay, there, that's the limit. So I don't want to go quite all the way to the edge, so maybe something like this will do. If I run straight down here, yeah, see, that'll jolt me and make me change direction, which will be frustrating, but that's okay. We'll have to sort of do trial and error. I don't think there'll be a perfect solution to this, but that's fine. Wow, reverse is really slow in this tractor. If I chuck a thing down there, yeah, see, like this doesn't. There you go. Alright, and let's go as close to the edge as we can. If I get bumped along the way, then it is what it is. I guess I could bring up the... That's my active worker. I've got a contract going. We can bring up the field boundary for 9. Yeah, it looks like if I carry on straight and then adjust when I sort of get just level, just past the start of the field. Let's try that. So if I go straight and then I turn left a little, I just angle myself a little further left just when I get past that field there. Oh, this is already the edge here. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be super straight. The camera's not letting me turn. And the tractor's going over to the AI workers. Let's see. How do I make it so that it stays here? Farmland that I own. There we go. Okay. So if I go straight and then right. Yeah, it's hard to really do. I guess I'll just judge it by eye. Straight, and then I can angle it right a bit later on. This feels like a good time to angle right. Yeah, just about. And then I'll try and line it up the edge of the road. Maybe not. Maybe slightly to the right of the edge of the road. So if I go like this, that should be good. Hopefully we're on target. I feel like that's pretty close to the field boundary there. Come on. I feel like that's pretty close. That's not bad. Okay, cool. Come on. Brilliant. I do like this part of the game, you know, buying the field, doing your own thing with it. It's a pretty good feeling. As long as I get it right on target. I'm pretty on target. So we could go right a little bit more here. I reckon I'll get as close as I can to the edge of the road. I can't talk and multitask though, that's for sure. Right, we'll put it there. Because then I can go further back. Yeah, see, that's the edge there. That it just knocked me. So if I go, we should probably rotate this. So let's hit B to rotate. We'll just line it up a bit better. And that should do. If I drop that, is that going to be right on the edge or pretty close to the edge? We don't need it right on the edge, we just need it pretty close to the edge. We'll leave a little bit of room between the field and the road so we don't damage any power lines, and I can still maneuver all the machines. Perfect. And then we're going to go parallel to the road all the way down, I think. Again, leave a little bit of room. Let's be nice and careful. And now I may as well take some liberties and reverse onto the road in here. I'm going to have to get rid of that tree. Let's see. Where do I want it? Here? I could probably do a little bit closer. I mean, we are going to plow it all eventually, but it makes sense to just do a little bit more. We can just ignore the tree for now. Actually, while we're here, we may as well just... Let me hop out here and chop this one down. I think it's one of them ones that will just disappear randomly. So, yep. No worries. I do need a stump grinder for that, though. I probably should have thought about that. Hopefully it doesn't have a stump because it was so little. This is going to be a massive field. This could be our biggest field. I feel like it will definitely be our biggest field. Although the other ones are a bit neater. We are getting too close to the road here. I want to just make sure that I leave enough room for this little tractor tire on the plow to have a bit of room to wiggle. As you guys can probably hear me rapid tapping my buttons to ensure that I try and stay in line with this thing. It's getting quite close. But yeah, this will be a decent sized field, and a reminder, we are going to be planting a new crop, soybeans, for the first time. So that should be a pretty fun... Oh god, I'm so close to the road here. Let's just readjust. I don't want to be that close. This is where I want to be. Yeah. So I did eat a little bit of the road, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. That's it. That's better. I want to leave a bit more of a gap. And let's get right close to the end. Come on. Good. So this is labor intensive work, but we might be nearly complete here. Let's just plow it all the way to the end. Lift it up. Brilliant. All right. Let's see if we have a field boundary now. I wonder if I can do GPS on this, because that would be cool, but I don't imagine you do. You could. Yeah, no field detected. But you guys can see, if I get off this map, that is our field boundary. So pretty close. That's 1.83 hectares. I reckon that's a good maybe 1.5 hectares, and we've got enough room there to chuck down some productions later on if we need to. So this area will be nice and probably concreted in the future. But for now, I'm not going to do this on camera because it's going to be a long episode. So actually I will do it on camera, but I'll leave it as a time lapse for you guys. So stay tuned. We'll do a quick time lapse as we plow the rest of this field, and then I will be back as we start earning more money and hopefully paying back that 155k, but also moving into June and July where we will be able to start harvesting our crops, which will be amazing. So enjoy the time lapse. I'll be back in a few moments. Hi guys, so it's been a little while between takes. We're still in the same episode, but for me, nearly a month of time has passed. So I just want to explain a few things while we plant our, what is this? This is our soybean field. We're going to be planting some soybeans here. So let me turn on the seeder first of all. and then we will lock in with H, and let's do this thing. I think this should be nice, and yep, we're planting some soybeans in this field. It is the month of May, and we're going to complete the third project for the year. So yeah, it's been a long time. In real life, Easter's just gone past. I had a very busy April, so I tried to make a few videos ahead of time. So I think the last 3 or 4 videos I made around about the same space of time. Like, it took me a couple of days, and I haven't really touched the game since then. On my Steam, you guys will know when you haven't touched a Steam game in a while, it says last played. It was like 3 weeks ago or something that I played this game. So I've forgotten the whole plan. I've forgotten everything that we tried to do. But here we are, picking back in the middle of the episode. So I just thought I would join in and have a quick chat with you guys. Completing the projects for the year. This is the last one. Remember that we had the sorghum, which we've already planted. We had the sunflowers, and now we have the soybeans. So we've got all those ripe and ready to go. Let me just turn the corner and I'll be able to show you those on the map as well, in case you guys have missed it. As we get to the end here, let's unzip, unfold, drop this down, and then we'll move on here as well. Perfect. Maybe we'll wait until we do the long line before I show you guys the map. But yeah, the farm's progressing quite nicely. So I just thought I'd take this chance to chat about the future of the series, to see how far we can take this and what we're missing out on at the current moment in time. So it's interesting that I'm behind the line of crosses. This is a bit glitchy, and I didn't really expect it to be like this, but that's okay. Let's hit this button, plant these in, and yeah, we'll just switch over to the map real quick, just more to familiarize myself than anything else. This is our soybean. No, this isn't. What is that? Is that our sorghum field? I can't remember. No, this is our sorghum field. This random one here. Is it? It's been so long. What's going on? Crop types, wheat and sorghum. Where's sorghum? Yeah, so 82 is our sorghum field. This one's our wheat field, and we've got our other wheat field up there, and we've got this big sunflower field. So we've got a lot of arable land now, which means that we'll have a busy year, and there'll also be some more stuff to be done in the fall, in the sort of autumn time, yeah, over here, because a lot of this stuff gets harvested around there. So that's good. It means that we're going to keep ourselves busy, and hopefully the time should go a lot quicker. What's going on here? Let me drop this down and see if I can... Something's not right with the tractor. I think the AI worker is making me get too close to the edge of the barrier. Yeah, the barrier's right there. But I mean, it must have let me get close before, because how the heck did I put the field down? So this is the other thing I've also played in between updates. So this is, I think, I don't know, 1.7 or something. I don't know what version we're up to, but yeah, it was a whole other version that I downloaded. So now we've had to... There's been a few things that have been fixed. For example, I can no longer get free repairs at the workshop. I have to actually pay for them like a normal person, which is not lovely. I really would like some free repairs, but that's okay. Yeah, and a bunch of other stuff I'm sure has been updated. We've got new machines and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into all of those things. But yeah, for now we'll just catch up. So plan is to go forwards. We're going to do 2 episodes a week, so hopefully I'll be able to get through a year a week, and that way we can really start streamlining the process to get to 1 million. So there'll be a lot less sort of talking like this, I guess, and there'll be a lot more updates to see what we've been doing, to see what's coming next, and basically just a few quick time lapses in between all the months, so it will hopefully feel like we are able to progress a lot quicker. We've got a few ideas already written down as how to make some more money very quickly. So that's the plan going forwards. And likewise, I'll just be editing out a few of the time lapses. Like, for example, once you guys have seen me talk about the soybeans for a couple of minutes, I would then just edit out the rest of the planting, because all we're doing is the same thing over and over. Now, if it's the first time that we're doing something like it is this soybean field, I'll probably keep it in the video. But things like, you know, plowing the field, or planting something that we already have, or maybe harvesting something that we already have, I'm going to just be skipping, because I want to make the most of the time. When they're important, when it's going to make us a lot of money, I'll jump in, and basically the things that are going to make us the most cash will be the things that are on camera. And there'll be a bunch of things in the background that just get done. Like, for example, the grass up there needs to be harvested for the animals. That's not something that you guys need to see. We've done it 100 times already, and I'm sure we're going to be doing it 100 times more. So there's no need to be able to put that on camera. So things like that are just going to be sort of skipped out on, but I will still get the big, nice, juicy stuff in when we need it. So that is the update, basically. Now, for this current episode, it's episode 38, we are going to be skipping through summer. So June and July, as it auto-saves, we're going to be heading into summer. June and July, we're going to do the canola harvest. I think there's another harvest. There's a wheat harvest that we should be able to do. And in June, we're going to hopefully be able to make a lot of money with our machines and our combine harvester as well down the track. So that's the plan. Basically, I want to start making hundreds of thousands of dollars very, very quickly. So to do that, we need to have all our eggs in a row, all the bottles on the shelf in one motion. So that's the plan going forward. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this episode. I'm going to skip ahead now, and there will be a little time lapse on this soybean planting, and I'll catch you guys for the next little activity. Alrighty, we're here in June, it's the end of June, and I may have forgotten a very important thing. I've been making some cash, we've been doing a bunch of contracts. I got the combine harvester out for the first time this year. We did some barley fields, we did some fertilizing, some hoeing, some weeding, you know, all the usual. But I may have forgotten to sell my eggs. So on this trailer right now, we've got a pallet of wooden beams, so 1,000 liters of wooden beams and 8,000 liters of eggs. So the best price, I mean, it's tiny, it's 5,192, but if you look, 5,355, it's $100 difference, it's really nothing. And for the time it takes me to actually get a pallet of wooden beams, it is worth just selling them as soon as they become available, basically, because I've just got $5,000 sitting there otherwise. So we're going to sell that, and we're going to sell our eggs. It's sort of the middle price right now, so we are going to be selling them at the farmer's market, even though some of the other places are a little bit higher, but only about by $30 or so per litre, and seeing we've only got 8,000 litres. That's not that much, $200 basically. I may lose, $200, which isn't worth it. It's not worth being able to do everything at once and selling $23,000 worth of produce. So that was the last task for June. I'm going to put this tractor to bed, and I will meet you guys in July so we can carry on our summer episode. Okay, it's finally time to solve our chicken problems. I've been unable to feed these birds all year. It's cost me like $3,000 in food every time that they've needed it, which is very frustrating. So it is finally time to harvest this wheat. Now it is July, so July we are able to do the canola as well, and we've got that big canola field right there ready to go. We do have some weather damage on these fields, which is a bit unfortunate. It did hail, I think towards the end of May, or maybe it was even mid-June. So we've got a little bit of damage to contend with, but probably not the end of the world. And one thing I am also looking forward to doing is maybe getting a straw swath, like a bunch of bales, straw bales, because we could use that for the TMR, which I'm hoping to be able to produce at some point. So that's what the future holds for us. But yeah, for now, we're going to harvest these 2 wheat fields. I'm only going to show you this one because it's just the same thing on the other one, it's just a bigger field. We're going to harvest them, and we are going to feed our chickens so that they finally have enough food to last for more than 1 month at a time. Because I tell you what, it was painful. It was painful having to chop and spend $3 grand on them every time. It made it a very unprofitable exercise owning this tiny little chicken pen, but it is what it is. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Look at that. Oh, is that damage, or is it just the camera angle there for that sort of? But it looks like damage. Yeah, I think it looks like damage, or maybe it's just the way they're being planted. But yeah, it's wheat time, so I'll speed through this, and hopefully I can join you guys when we have a bunch of straw bales ready to go. Well, let's get on with it. Alrighty guys, we are back here in August, and I know this has been a big episode full of time lapses, but you guys have got to excuse me because that's all summer is for us. We're just harvesting away and hoping that everything goes our way. So one thing I did forget to do, you guys would have seen the time lapse of the canola. One thing I did forget to do is to enable the straw swath. So I have enabled it for this. I don't know if enable straw swath, that one. It's not enabled for the coral. Well, right, there you go. That answers that question. So I would like to start building up a pile of straw bales so that we can eventually get TMR when we need it for the cows. But for right now, we are going to harvest this quick sorghum field, and then off camera, I'm going to jump forwards a little bit. I'll probably stay in August, but I'll do a couple of contracts and just a bit of maintenance. Like this field needs weeding. You guys don't need to see that. That'll take 400 years. So I'll weed that field. You know, I'll prepare it, and then we'll come back for the next episode, ready to go for our fall stuff, for our autumn stuff. And I am planning to get all the planting done, and there'll be a little bit of harvesting hopefully the soybeans when we get around to them. And then obviously it's selling produce time as well. September is the month for goat milk, and we've got, as you guys can see in the distance there, we've got lots of goat milk to sell, so we should be able to make a heap of cash that way. And then just a few general little bits that we need to do around the farm, just a bit of tidy up, and then it's ready to go. And then we can plan our projects pretty soon, maybe for the winter episode. We'll plan our projects for the following year, because that'll be a very nice addition to the farm. What else can we do? I think we probably need to buy those 2 fields and complete this little row of property for us. Like, you know, we'll be able to own all these fields. But we have come a long way this year. I've been able to feed my chickens as we just get to the end here. If you guys have a look, the cows are going up in value, the goats are going up in value. I've got lots and lots of food for the chickens at 6,000 litres. I can add the sorghum to it as well. I've got 20,000 litres of canola in the silo. So I really need to decide what to do with that. For now, I'm going to hold on to it because the best price for canola, I think, is in December. Yeah, 20,000 litres, November. It's actually in November. So we could get 20k for that, or I could hold on to it and invest into the canola oil cycle. So I think I'm going to do half. I think I'll get rid of 10k and maybe 11k, something like that. I'll fill up the canola thing once more. I'll fill up the oil mill because I reckon that's the best way to sort of manage our profit. The oil mill won't be able to do more than that. Well, let's see. I filled it up last month. And if I head over to the production, go to the oil mill. Yeah, I filled it up last month. It does basically 1,000 litres. So 1,000 litres a month is not very much. And between now and our next canola harvest, which is obviously going to be 12 months away, in July next year, so 11 months away, we have enough to be able to just go, alright, I'm going to get rid of all the canola, or half the canola that we have, and keep the other half for investment purposes, you might say, which is very exciting. But yeah, I know time lapses aren't always the most fun thing to watch, so I do apologise just for the lack of talking, but it's the way to go, especially in summer. There's so much work to do around the farm. It's better to just get it all on video and do a quick time lapse so you guys can see the progress, so I'm not just jumping back and forth between episodes and saying, oh, look what I did, and there's just 14 new things on the farm that you guys haven't been able to see. So the point of this is to do the journey together, to see if we can get to 100, which is a long way away. We also, I haven't forgotten, we have a loan. We have a loan of 155k that we want to repay. Hopefully I'll be able to repay that before the end of the year. I mean, I definitely will be able to repay that by the end of the year, but hopefully pretty quickly, because we could do some stuff in the late end of this year. Like, we could do some more stuff with fields, and we could get some fields ready for spring crops. So it would be good to pay it off around September, October, November time, and then by the time it gets to January, February, we're ready to go, so that when March and April hits, we can do all the prep work, and then we can just start on our new projects right away without having to wait. Because we did have to plan them out in stages this time. Now I think that's something that we're going to have to do again next year, but we can be a little bit more prepared and ready to go. We're getting a good amount of sorghum here. I do probably need to go and fill this combine harvester up with some deal. But going to do that on the way to harvesting as a tree miner. On the way to harvesting field number 23, I've got an oats harvesting contract, which is good. And I've just been picking up a bunch of these as well. They all seem to be peas, or yeah. I can't do any of these contracts, which is a bit annoying. But as we go through the time a bit quicker, I'm getting used to playing on 5 speed now. As you guys know, in the past I've been playing on 1 speed. Doesn't help. We really need to get through the months a lot quicker, and you actually get more contracts as the day goes on. So it makes sense to play on 5 speed and to get through these contracts as quick as possible, because after all, I need to get 155k. That's a lot. I'm not going to do that in one sitting, unfortunately. Is that down? Yeah. So to complete the arc, the combine harvester arc. We do also have, I forgot as well, we do have the other header, so we can do sunflowers and corn this year, which obviously we need to do for our own fields, but that does mean a whole lot more contract income from this machine. So we're doubling down on our cash. Awesome. All right, so we'll end this episode here. It's been a long time. It's been a little bit over. We started, I'm pretty sure we started this one in May or June, so it's been a long period of time in the game. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Just a quick note, I know that I've been a bit absent with all the videos in between Easter and holidays and stuff like that. I'm back, I'm ready to go. I'm going to try and do 2 videos a week. So there'll be one coming out on a Wednesday, one coming out on a Saturday. I'll try and plan for that and have those 2 ready to go. So I've got a couple already made from before Easter. Actually, I just haven't had a chance to upload them. So they're good to go for the next couple of weeks for sure. And then after that, we'll go for 2 a week, just to try and get through basically a year a week is what I've set myself a challenge to do. And I think that's a plan. I think that's good. But for now, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. And I will catch you guys in the next episode as we nicely time our sort of review here. This would be crazy if this ends up being exactly 100%. Okay. A little bit short, and a little bit short. But I will catch you guys in the next episode. See you then.